Sheng joining us from the tank, courtesy of WebEx by Cisco. And what a big couple days for Tomas Hertl. The contract signed, sealed, and delivered. You can see the relief on his face. And now, Sheng, I guess he can just get back to being a leader of this group.
Yeah, you can see that yesterday when we talked with Noah Gregor after the game. This is after the Sharks got shut out by the Kings 3-0. This is Noah Gregor's first game after a couple of healthy scratches. Bogbuchner had critiqued his practice habits. Not a conversation that I imagine Noah Gregor really wanted to be a part of, but credit to Noah. He was professional, handled it beautifully. But when we asked him about Tomas Hertl, you could see his expression change, absolutely lit up when we asked him about how happy he was that Tomas Hertl was coming back. And this makes me think about the last trade deadline, when people were saying that, hey, maybe the Sharks should trade Hertl then because they could get more for Hertl at the trade deadline last year because the team getting him or acquiring him would get 2 playoff runs for him. And talking with people with the Sharks even last year, they're saying no. Tomas Hertl, we see Tomas Hertl in the same vein as a Joe Pavelski, as a Logan Couture, as a Joe Thornton, as that culture driver, as that leader, and as that person that you want leading the young Sharks on and off the ice back to prominence.
Yeah, it feels like just yesterday Hertl was a younger Shark. Now he's evolved into that leadership role, most certainly. Hey, the trade deadline for the NHL, it's Monday. Time is ticking down. If you're Alexander Barabanov or you're Jake Middleton, your name has been out there. You're probably looking for this to come and go, just so you know what's next. What do you think is next for those guys?
Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable 36 hours for those guys. Let's start with Jake Middleton first. Pierre LeBrun reported that the Sharks want a second-round pick and a decent prospect for Jake Middleton. This is mirroring the package that the Anaheim Ducks got for Josh Manson. Speaking with sources, though, outside of the organization, though, they scoff at that kind of that package that the Sharks will receive that much for Jake Middleton. It's not that they don't like Jake Middleton. Everyone recognizes what Jake Middleton has done this year and how he has solidified and established himself as an NHLer. But they see Jake Middleton as a bottom-pairing defenseman on a cup contender, whereas a Josh Manson or a Ben Sherratt, who just went for a first-round pick, is seen as a top 4 guy. So that's a big difference. I think what the Sharks might get for a Jake Middleton is a second-round pick or a decent prospect, and it remains to be seen if the Sharks will be interested in such an offer. Going on to Barabanov, Barabanov is going to be a UFA, and it's a little bit of a holding pattern right now for Alexander Barabanov. There was some thought that after Hertl got signed, sealed and delivered there, that next would be Alexander Barabanov. But as far as I understand it, there have been no talks between the Sharks and Barabanov up to this point. It doesn't mean that Barabanov is going to be going. It doesn't mean that Barabanov isn't coming back to the Sharks. But I think it is telling, though, that when the Sharks were negotiating with Hertl, they weren't doing it concurrently with Barabanov. And now Hertl is done. They're still not negotiating with Barabanov. So it kind of tells you a little bit about what the Sharks or who the Sharks are prioritizing.
Well, I like them both. I say keep them both. Sheng, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.